Hello my friends, Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa String Works workshop. I've received yet another tool from Wild Badger. This one is a 12-inch 20-volt chainsaw and I'm anxious to try it out. We have received a lot of tools from Wild Badger and I would consider them kind of like a medium duty. For the occasional use that most people have, you can't hardly beat them. Sue absolutely loves the 16-inch chainsaw that we've received already. Now that one's a 40 volt. This is a 20 volt, but it's much smaller bar. So I think things are going to kind of be equal. Sue's really anxious to try this out. So let's open this up and see what we've got here. Okay, that looks to be all the pieces. There. Chainsaw body nice and light, and that's what Sue really likes. She likes the light stuff, and I think because this is a 20 volt instead of 40 volt, I think she's gonna like that a lot too. We'll put the battery in there. Before we do anything, I just want to see how full the battery is. Pressing that button there, it looks like the battery might be full. If that's the case, well, we're going to go out and give this thing a try right now. Let me get her set up for you. I'll show you how you do that. We'll have to put some oil in it. The oil is to lubricate the bar and the chain. Sue's been after me every day since we got this. Have you done the review on this yet? She's wanting to use it so bad. In case you're wondering about chains and which way they go, if you're looking at the top of the bar, the teeth always point forward from the top of the bar because they're coming around and cutting on the bottom side. So they always point forward when you're looking at the top of the bar. That's the easiest way to remember it that I can think of. And that's with all chainsaws. Tight the way it is, so I'm going to loosen up the little tensioner here. A couple of turns and that should make it go. It went just fine. And now we'll put this guard back on. You can see here how that looks. This is the tensioner right here. There's a little rod that has to fit in that hole right there. That's what moves it forwards and backwards. And this has a little tab on it. It has to go under there first. That should be good. Pretty much with all chainsaws, once you are ready to tension the chain, see like the chain is hanging down there right now. Can you see how it's just hanging down? Well, when you want to tension it, you always lift the bar up. So in other words, you grab the bar, pick it up like that, then you turn the tensioner a little bit until you see the chain go up in the slot like that, and then you grab it and it should spring back. It shouldn't be super tight, but you want it where it'll spring back into place. That's a little better. That's just about right. That's not real tight. That's just snug is what you want. And then you go ahead and tension this down real good and tight. Okay, so we're in good shape there now. We'll go ahead and get the oil and put in there. Okay. I've got her full of oil. I don't know if you can see down in there, but it's completely full. And we'll put the cap back on. Perfect. Oh, that's going to be nice. Sue is going to love that. I'm checking to see if I see any oil coming out on the bar. Looks like there might be a little bit. Let's just run it a little bit more. Yeah, you want to make sure you can see some oil on there. If there's no oil, then you got a problem. Everything looks good. Okay, so let's go take this out and work on some trails and see how well this thing holds up. And before we head out, I think I'll put this blade guard over that. That keeps you from getting cut accidentally, but it also protects the chain so it doesn't get beat up, like maybe riding in the back of a trailer or something. Well, we're here on one of our trails. You can see this tree leaning out over the trail pretty badly, so we're going to take care of that. Well, it's actually an elm tree probably, but it's of no value, so we're going to take care of it. You can see how easy that was. That was nothing to it at all. Let's just cut it in half here in the middle, and then that way I'll be able to move it out of the way. No problem at all. Yeah, this little chainsaw's got the guts. For a 20 volt, that's pretty impressive. Let's go see if we can find something maybe even just a little bigger than that. That was about 4 inches. Well, here's some more limbs leaning out over the trail right here, so we might as well take care of that. Didn't have to go far. We'll just go ahead and cut all this off. These are actually smaller, but that's okay. No problem at all. This trail hasn't been used much. We've got over 20 miles of trails on the farm, so it takes a little maintenance. I don't really need to cut this off. I could do this with my brush cutter. But we might as well while we're here. I'm mainly looking for actual trees that are across the trail. And I don't know if there's any or not. I'm just guessing. So far, we found enough, though. Let's go a little further. Wow, this is really grown up. It hasn't been cut in a long time. Wow, it's really bad. Well, there's a pretty big tree right there across the trail, so I can't even get out on my side. I'll have to go out on this side. We'll saw this up into multiple pieces. There you go, there's one. And let's see here, we're going to cut this one about here where I can get to it. This is hard, dry, old wood right here. So, here's some more stuff in the way. That's a pretty good sized log right here. This is about a 6-incher. But it's no problem for this saw. It just handles it no trouble at all. Well, now we got into a whole bunch of stuff right here. This might be a little more than this saw wants to handle, but I think it's worth a try. Let's see, we'll just cut off some of this little stuff. Get some of this stuff out of our way first. Again, I could do this with my brush cutter. But I got to do that to get to these big ones. Just gonna, well, we got some growed up thorns here too. This might be more than I want to handle with this right now, because there's a lot of thorns. right, we'll cut off the biggest stuff and then we can at least get through it with our brush cutter. That's pretty good. This big one here, I'm going to see if I can get rid of it at least. I can always push it out of the way with the brush cutter if I can get it cut in half. So there's a big one here. This might be 10 inches, maybe 12. About 10 inches. There we go, we broke it in half, and I think that's all I'll need to do. I can push that out of the way with my brush cutter. Looks like there's something here we could cut off. Now keep in mind, this is old dry stuff here. This stuff here that's probably about a 5-incher right there. But my brush cutter will push the rest of this out of the way. Now that we've got that going, I think that's all we need to do to demonstrate how well this chainsaw works. It works. I mean, that old hard dry stuff, that takes a lot for a saw to cut that, and it cut it no problem at all. Well, my friends, assuming that the footage turned out, you saw me put this thing to some real work out there. There were some good-sized trees across that trail, and it didn't hesitate at all. I think Wild Badger has perfectly matched up the size of the bar with the amount of power required. And this is a 20 volt, as I mentioned. And so what I'm going to do, because I know Sue is just chomping at the bit to get to use this thing, I'm going to take the battery out of here, and I'm going to plug it into the included charger and top the battery off so that she can go out and have a good time with this thing, because she rides horses on these trails, and she knows where all the limbs are across the trails and things like that, and she'll take these out there and clean up her horse riding trails. So let me plug this in and I'll show you how that works. So I've got this other end of it plugged into the outlet, and we can slide this on here like that. And then you can look at your battery there, and you can see the battery's flashing on that one end. So I assume when that quits flashing, we're going to be good to go. It'll be topped off. So once again, I want to say thank you to Wild Badger Power, because this is one fine little chainsaw, especially considering it's only 20 volts. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next video.